Good afternoon, dear students. Our main topic today is Unit 5, Assessment of One's Teaching Practice. This is the last main topic in finals. Before we dive into today's lesson, I'd like to take a moment to go over some important classroom rules to make sure we all understand the expectations and can have a productive, respectful, and enjoyable time today. Let's go over them one by one. First, punctuality. I want to emphasize the importance of being on time. When you're late, you miss out on important information, and it also disrupts the class for others. Please make sure to arrive on time so that we can start together and make the most of our learning time. Second, prayer. As we are here not just to learn, but also to grow in our faith. We begin and end each class with prayer. It's a time to reflect, center ourselves, and ask for guidance in our studies and actions. I encourage each of you to take it seriously, as prayer is an important part of our learning environment. Third, proper dress code. I know that looking presentable is important. While we are in the classroom, we are representatives of this school. So please ensure that you are dressed according to the school guidelines. This shows respect for yourself and for the learning environment. Fourth, we have good manners and right conduct. Respect is the foundation of a positive classroom atmosphere. Always practice good manners by listening when others are speaking, raising your hand if you have something to say, and treating your classmates and me with kindness and respect. Remember, we are a community and we should all act accordingly. Fifth, active participation. Your participation is key to your success in this class. Whether it's answering questions, engaging in discussions, or contributing to group work, I want each of you to actively participate. Is how we all learn from each other and grow together. Finally, that is honesty during quizzes. I expect honesty during quizzes and exams. I know that sometimes it's tempting to look at someone else's paper, but I trust that you will do your best on your own. Integrity is just as important as knowledge, and I believe each of you can show that in how you approach your work. So these are our main rules for the class. I believe that if we follow these guidelines, we will create a positive and successful learning environment for everyone. Remember, we're all in this together, so let's help each other out and make this class a great experience. Now, this is the content. As you can see, there are two subtopics. We have A, reflective practices using learner attainment data, and B, reflective practice through performance evaluation. This is the rationale of our main topic. Assessment of one's teaching practice is an essential component in fostering professional growth and enhancing student learning. This process helps educators identify their strengths, address challenges, and refine their teaching strategies to better support students' academic success. Reflective practice and performance evaluation are two primary methods used to evaluate teaching effectiveness. These methods leverage various data points, including learner attainment data and feedback from different evaluative sources. Let's have reflective practice using learner attainment data. Reflective practice involves an educator's continuous self-examination and analysis of their teaching methods, strategies, and classroom interactions. This self-assessment aims to understand what works, what doesn't, and why. One of the most effective ways to engage in reflective practice is by using learner attainment data, which provides concrete evidence of student performance. This data is generally categorized into test scores and non-test data. Let's dive into learners' test scores. Learners' test scores serve as a quantitative measure of student achievement. These scores can provide valuable insights into how well students have grasped the material and the effectiveness of instructional practices. When analyzing test scores, educators can identify patterns and trends that inform their teaching approach. Examples: identifying knowledge gaps. By viewing which questions were most frequently answered incorrectly, teachers can pinpoint specific content areas that need to be revisited or taught using alternative methods. So that's all for the identifying knowledge gaps. Second is evaluating instructional strategies. Test scores allow educators to assess whether their teaching methods align with students' learning styles. If students consistently perform well, it may indicate that the instructional strategies are effective. Conversely, lower scores could prompt a reassessment and adaptation of teaching techniques. Setting setting realistic goals. Analyzing test scores helps teachers set achievable learning targets and measure progress over time. So reflective practice using test scores encourages data-driven decision making, enabling teachers to adjust their instructional plans to better support their students' academic growth. Now let's have the application of learners' test scores. Let us consider this problem. A high school math teacher, Miss Rivera, notices that most students scored below average on questions related to quadratic equations on a recent exam. By analyzing these test results, she identifies that the majority of incorrect answers were due to misunderstandings in applying the quadratic formula. So, what is the action taken by Miss Rivera? So, Miss Rivera decides to implement a targeted review session using an interactive learning tool, such as online graphing software. She also introduces peer tutoring sessions to reinforce the concept, allowing stronger students to assist those who need more support. It's time to discuss learners' non-test data and other information. While test scores offer valuable insights, they do not provide a complete picture of students' learning experience. Non-test data and other qualitative information are crucial for a comprehensive understanding of student performance and overall well-being. Examples of non-test examples of non-test data include the following. So let's start with the classroom participation. Observing how often students engage in discussions, ask questions, and contribute to group activities can reveal their understanding and comfort with the material. Next, we have behavioral observations. Okay, behavioral observations. Noting changes in students' behavior, such as increased participation or withdrawal, can indicate how well students are adapting to teaching methods. Then we have project and assignment performance. Evaluating students' performance on projects, presentations, and written assignments helps assess their ability to apply knowledge in real world contexts. And lastly, we have feedback from students. Gathering student feedback through surveys or informal conversations allows teachers to understand their perspectives and make necessary adjustments. Reflecting on both test and non-test data provides teachers with a well-rounded view of their effectiveness, guiding them in making informed changes to their teaching practices. Let's have the application of learners' non-test data and other information. Let's have this problem. Mr. Lee, a middle school science teacher, notices that while his top performing students often contribute during lessons, some quieter students rarely speak up. So, what is the action taken by Mr. Lee? Mr. Lee integrates small group discussions and hands-on experiments where students are assigned rotating roles, such as discussion leader and data recorder. This helps foster a supportive environment where all students feel confident participating, giving him valuable qualitative data on their understanding and engagement. Let's take a closer look at reflective practice through performance evaluation. Performance evaluation is a structured process that provides teachers with feedback from various evaluators, including students, peers, and supervisors. These evaluations help teachers gain different perspectives on their teaching methods, classroom management, and overall effectiveness. We'll now focus on students as evaluators. Students are directly impacted by a teacher's instructional methods and can provide valuable feedback on their experiences. Students' evaluations typically involve surveys or feedback forms that focus on the following factors. First, you have the clarity of instruction. Students students can assess whether their teacher explains concepts clearly and provides understandable examples. Next, engagement and motivation. Students can offer insights into whether the teacher uses strategies that capture their interest and encourage active participation. And lastly, we have support and responsiveness. Feedback from students can reveal how approachable the teacher is and whether they provide adequate support when students encounter difficulties. While students' evaluations are subjective, they provide a unique perspective on the learning environment and can be a catalyst for reflection. Teachers can use this feedback to fine tune their teaching strategies and create a more inclusive and engaging classroom. Let's have the application all related to students as evaluators. Let us consider this scenario. Mrs. Patel, a university lecturer, distributes end-of-term surveys where students rate her teaching strategies and provide comments. So what is the action taken? Based on the feedback, she slows down She discovers that students appreciate visual aids but find her lectures too fast-paced. Mrs. Patel adapts her next course by incorporating more pause points and interactive question and answer sessions to ensure comprehension. Let's unpack peers as evaluators. Peer evaluation involves teachers observing and reviewing each other's teaching practices. This type of evaluation can be highly effective due to the shared understanding and expertise among colleagues. Peer evaluation typically involves the following. First is the classroom observation. Peers observe a lesson and take notes on specific aspects, such as instructional methods, classroom management, and student engagement. Next, we have feedback sessions. After the observation, peers provide constructive feedback that highlights strengths and suggests areas for improvement. Collaborative reflection. Teachers and peers discuss the feedback, share best practices, and brainstorm strategies to overcome challenges. Peer evaluation fosters a collaborative professional culture where teachers learn from each other and improve collectively. This process also allows educators to see their teaching from an outsider's perspective, making it easier to recognize subtle issues that may have been overlooked. Now, let's have the application of peer evaluation. Let us consider this scenario. Mr. Gomez, a new social studies teacher, requests a peer evaluation from a senior colleague to gain constructive feedback on his classroom management. The action, his colleague notes that while Mr. Gomez has strong content knowledge, his transitions between activities could be smoother. Mr. Gomez takes his feedback and practices incorporating transition cues, enhancing the flow of his lessons. Now, let's turn our attention to supervisors as evaluators. Supervisors, such as school administrators or department heads, play a significant role in the performance evaluation process. Their feedback is often more formal and linked to performance appraisals. Supervisors typically assess teachers based on the following. First, the adherence to curriculum standards. Evaluators check if teachers are meeting the curriculum requirements and objectives. Next, the classroom management skills. Supervisors observe how well teachers maintain an organized and productive learning environment. Next, we have the teaching effectiveness. This includes how well teachers explain concepts, facilitate discussions, and adapt to students' needs. Next, we have professionalism. Supervisors evaluate teachers on their punctuality, preparation, and collaboration with colleagues and parents. Supervisor evaluations are essential for accountability and professional growth. The feedback received from supervisors often contributes to decisions related to promotions, continued professional development, and areas requiring further training. Let's have the application of supervisors as evaluators. Let's have the scenario. Okay, so Miss Anwar, a literature teacher, undergoes formal observation by her principal, who suggests incorporating a more student led discussions to increase engagement. This action. Ms. Anwar plans student-led debates on book themes, which not only engages students but also develops their critical thinking and leadership skills. It's time for us to look at the benefits of reflective practice and performance evaluation. Reflective practice and performance evaluation together form a comprehensive approach to assessing teaching effectiveness. The combined benefits include the following. First, the enhanced teaching strategies. Teachers can refine their methods to cater to different learning styles and needs. Second, improved student outcomes. A reflective approach that incorporates data-driven adjustments can lead to better student performance and engagement. Next, the professional development. Performance evaluations offer opportunities for teachers to identify skill gaps and pursue targeted professional development. Lastly, we have the increased collaboration. Peer evaluations foster a collaborative environment where teachers share strategies and learn from each other. Now, let's talk about the conclusion. Assessing one's teaching practice is a vital component of effective education. By using reflective practice and performance evaluation, educators can continually improve their teaching strategies and better support student learning. Whether through analyzing test scores, gathering non-test data, or receiving feedback from students, peers, and supervisors, teachers are empowered to make informed adjustments that foster a more effective and engaging learning environment. So, dear students, I hope you learn many things from my video lesson. And as your your way of gratitude, please subscribe to my channel, Rammer Math TV. You can find this video lesson in my channel entitled Rammer Math TV. I hope you subscribe, and you can also learn math video lessons from my channel. Goodbye. Thank you for listening. May God bless you. Goodbye.